So this video is explaining how to go from nothing to getting a project built and run on the Quest. So there's a bunch of setup that we need to do. This video is two videos. We're split into two parts. First, it's the one-time setup, the sort of initial things we need to go through, and then the second video will be the specific for the Unity project setup. So what we need to cover in this one is our accounts. That's going to be how to set up our Oculus, I can't even spell, Oculus account. Yep. And how to set up a Unity account. For the most part, there isn't much to do there, but there's some steps. Then we need to set up the Quest in particular. It needs to be in developer mode. And it needs to have permissions. USB debugging permissions. Did I spell that wrong? Whatever. Lastly, we need to make sure Unity is installed correctly and that it can build for Android. So we need to get our account set up. We need to get the device set up to be able to receive developer builds. And we need to have Unity be able to create create Android devices, Android builds. So the Quest won't let you enable developer mode unless you've gone into your account and set up a specific setting to do that. And you can make a build, but you can't get it onto the Quest unless you are in developer mode. So the first step is, and it's usually where the mistake is we got to get into developer mode. So let's do that. If you do not have an Oculus account or a Unity account, we need to create those. Your Oculus account should be the same as your that is you're using on the app that you're using on the device. So you probably created it when you logged in. You may have used a Facebook account, but it's whatever one's the same. So we're going to go to dashboard.oculus.com. This is a sort of a redirection page. This dashboard should. It won't show you this. It'll show you something else. It'll say you don't have any organizations. And what you need to do is create an organization. Creating an organization, what's the legal name of your organization? You're just going to include your name. That's the name of your organization. You could probably choose some gibberish, like we're not actually developing or publishing anything to a store. But creating your developer organization for your Oculus account enables you to access features that are intended for development of VR experiences. That's the important part. So once you put in your name or whatever, put in I understand, hit submit, you're good. If you're logged into your account, that is the same account on your Oculus Quest, and this is all we needed to do. And you can get to this page from dashboard.oculus.com. For your Unity account, you just create it at unity.com. Unity is completely free to use. You don't need to pay for it. You only need the pro version if you're making over like $100,000 a year. Completely free to use. Just go ahead and download software called the Unity Hub. What I want to draw your attention to is Unity Student. This gives you some pro features because you are a student and you do not have to pay for them. Amazing. You get that dark theme. Oh, so good. You get a bunch of Learn Premium resources. Very good. So verification is through GitHub. Your Unity account doesn't need to be your .edu school account. And neither does your GitHub account for that matter. GitHub can have you add a second email to it. So that's pretty great. It's important to know that you don't need to use your .edu email address to get this because you may make purchases on the asset store. And 5, 10, 20 years from now, you may want to get access to those purchases, and you don't want your student account, which will eventually go away. You don't want that to be removed. That said, if you already made a Unity account and you used your .edu email address, you can definitely go into your account settings and change your email. But now you got to remember to do that. Anyway, so we've installed the Unity Hub, and we are ready to install a new version of Unity. You may need to make sure you are logged in. What did I just do? Get out of here. You may need to make sure you're logged in. You may need to go make sure you're under your preferences or under the settings, under license management. You've activated a license. That Unity Hub stuff, that's not really what we're covering today. And now it's time to install a version of Unity. So how do we do that? Under installs, we click add, done, not quite done yet. Check out the guide on what all the different versions of Unity means. I've already written that up. But we want to install Unity, probably 2019.4 point something something something, or whatever the most recent version is. I'm not gonna install another version of, how many versions of 2019.3 do I have? 3 already. But anyway, I'll show you the process. So to install a version of Unity, whatever the version we want is, what we need to remember to do is to check this Android build support box, and under its dropdowns, make sure that the OpenJDK and Android SDK and NDK tools are also both checked. This is going to take up space on your computer. Sorry. You also want documentation checked for sure. I like WebGL. You don't need that checked. If you're on a Mac, you may want to do a Windows build support. If you're on Windows, you may want to do Mac build support. That's Windows build support, not Universal Windows Platform build support. Those are different. Just so that you can share things with your friends on the other hardware. If you're on Windows, you already have Windows build support installed. And if you're on Mac, you should already have that. Anyway, what we care about is Android build support, because the Oculus Quest is an Android device. So we do that. We click next. We have to agree to some Google's terms about how we can use the Android developer tools. You can't make things that are illegal. And then we are ready to install Unity. Hooray! Let's say that you have a version of Unity already installed and you did not add Android build support. Do you need to uninstall and reinstall it? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Just click the little 3 dots and click add modules, add the ones you want, and then you're good. You don't need to reinstall the whole thing. To get the Quest in developer mode, you need to head to the app. So in your Oculus app, make sure you're logged in with that same account, head to settings, and connect to the Oculus Quest. You just got to push it. It doesn't look like a button. Once you're connected, you go down into more settings. And from more settings, there is a menu that should say developer mode. You go into developer mode and you hit that switch. It'll load a little bit and then you are in developer mode. One last step, and this is something that's usually forgotten, so pay attention. When you plug your Oculus Quest into your computer with the USB cable, if you're in developer mode, you will get a pop-up that looks like this: allow USB debugging. This is an Android system pop-up. The Quest can be kind of glitchy, kind of gimmicky with it. It can kind of auto-hide it sometimes. You could be in some, Guardian overlay when this happens. So you may need to unplug and replug it and try it a few times to get the message to appear. You want to check always allow from this computer and click OK. And that will allow, that is the Quest giving this computer that you plugged into permission to send developer builds to it. All right, so the checklist of what we need to have done for Oculus is that our account needs to have an organization, the Quest needs to be in developer mode, which we do from the app, and the Quest needs to allow USB debugging, which is a pop-up in the Quest itself when you plug it into the computer. In Unity, we just need to make sure that Android build support has been enabled. If we've done all this, we are ready to go and ready to set up a project and build it for an Android Quest standalone build. Yay.